Hey, you guys, this is Christina with Leads and Leverage, and it is Monday morning, January 8th, 2018. And I bet that today there's a whole lot more of you back at it. I know that a lot of people over the holidays take off, the week before Christmas, the week between Christmas and New Year's, and often the week following New Year's. But guess what today is? Today is like, there's no holiday. We're not in a holiday week. We're not anywhere. And so we're back at it. And today I actually wanted to share with you something. I actually heard people asking the question, and I always ask this too, as an agent. I was always like, okay, so I need to do 2 to 3 hours of lead generation, but what exactly do I do? And people would say, do this, do that, do this. And I'm like, but like, what exactly in that? Well, people always want to know exactly what would work, what won't work, what, etc. So today I'm actually going to talk to you about your lead generation time and exactly what you should be doing. In fact, this is going to be more than one video. I have a feeling that once I tell you the different things that you're going to want to know a little bit more, like, okay, with that, what exactly do you mean? What should I be sending, or what should I be doing? How should I be talking, etc.? So we're going to go into that. So over the next week or two, I don't know how long this will take. I just want to every day, or almost every day, I will be traveling in this time frame, but I want to spend 10 to 15 minutes with you and just help walk you through this so that you come out of this with a very clear idea of exactly what you should be spending your time on during your lead generation time. So that's what I want to do with this. So one of the big things that I really want to talk to you guys about is what your business, how to grow your business, etc. So one of the questions that I have for you guys, first of all, is I guess it's not a question. It's more of, would you please, it is a question. It's an ask. Would you please comment below and just say hi? Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're listening. Let me know that you're interested. Are you faced with this question when you sit down to do your lead generation time? Or which the question is what exactly should you be doing? Or have you not actually sat down or time blocked lead generation time because you're just not quite sure what to do? A lot of times when I hear agents, they're like, yeah, my number one thing this year is to lead generate. I'm like, well, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to do open houses, or I'm going to do this. I'm like, okay, but what are you going to do? How are you going to get leads from those? So I think that's where the disconnect is. We're not sure, or I'm going to make calls, or I'm going to door knock, or whatever. We're like, we are told to go do these things, but we're not exactly sure what they should look like in order to get results. So when I'm going over this with you over the next 1 to 2 weeks, I'm going to tell you exactly how to get results from anything that you're doing for lead generation. If it'll actually get if it'll actually work for lead generation. I'm going to help you know. I'm going to give you a very clear 2-step roadmap so you know exactly what's actually going to lead generate for you. So we're going to do that over the next couple of days. So if you would please tell me hi and let me know, do you struggle? Just yes or no. Do you struggle with knowing exactly what to do during your lead generation time? Do you spend quite a lot of time setting yourself up for lead generation? And you're not really quite sure what to do, or I don't know, maybe you end up just licking envelopes and putting stamps on them during your lead generation time. And I'm going to tell you, yeah, you can include that in your lead generation time. And I know there will be people say you can't, but I'm going to actually tell you when that's supposed to be a part of your lead generation time. Okay. So Jennifer's like, OMG, yes, totally. One of the things that I liked and disliked about the book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Now, don't get me wrong. I really like that book. And I really like the empowerment that it provided to the real estate industry as a whole, to agents as a whole, the empowerment of building a business. And here's a roadmap for you. I love that book. But one of the things that was really tough about that book was, okay, what does that translate to me? How does that translate to me in my market with my unique gifts, with my specific niche? What does that actually look like? And then with Shift, that was helpful. The next book that they wrote, that was really helpful too. That helped do that. But I want to tell you something real quick. I'm saying this to you guys, and I just realized that this is exactly what you need to be doing for your future consumers. Here's what I mean by that. I mean that. So this is a little bit of a segue. What I mean by that is I'm going to tell you exactly what to do during your lead generation to make it clear, like what exactly that looks like, how that translates. So when somebody says, do this, this is what it means for you in your market, and how to identify it and how to clarify that. So that right there, what I'm going to show you is what you need to be showing your future buyers and sellers. And here's what I mean by that. If you're going to share statistics, local, national, preferably local, doesn't matter. If you're going to share that, if you're going to send it out on a postcard or a newsletter, or you're going to talk about it, when you're going to do that, you need to drill it down to their house so that they understand what the heck days on market means for their house. So what I'm doing for you, I want you guys to watch everything that I do over the next 2 weeks, like how I'm teaching you, how I'm drilling things down, how I'm translating, because let me tell you, that's what you need to be doing for your future buyers and sellers. What I'm doing for you is exactly what you need to be doing for them, but the translation is obviously going to be different. You're not going to teach them how to lead generate, but you're going to teach them how to understand what something means for them, for their house, for their situation. So that's what this, I want you to kind of come at this with that thought going through your head. How can I make this work for me? How can I make things like this work? You don't have to get on video. It's the underlying concept in here that you're teaching, that you're educating, that you're informing, that you're empowering, that you're inspiring, that you're really a translator for all the gobbledygook that's going on in your industry for the layman. Even if they might understand the words like escrow or days on market or list to sell ratios, even if they like conceptually get it, they don't really understand it. You need to teach them. So we're going to get into this. All right. So Jennifer says, hi, Happy New Year, Jennifer. Hi. Thank you for saying hi. Guys, if you are with me, please say hi. I love it when you say hi. And please let me know what we're talking about today is what exactly should you be doing during your lead generation time? Like literally, exactly, in detail, what should you be doing? How much time should you be spending on this? How much time should you be spending on that, etc.? Like we're going to get into this. It's going to take more than this video, but we're going to get into it. And I would love to know, like Jennifer says, totally yes. She sits down or she's trying to time block her time, but she's like, what the heck am I going to do? And sometimes we'll even do the time blocking and then wonder why we don't stick to the time blocking. Well, because we don't know what the heck we're going to do, or we don't believe in what we're telling ourselves we're going to do, or we have on our list, or we don't like it, or whatever. There's lots of reasons. Good morning, Cindy. Donna said, or no, Mark says, hello, I struggle with distraction. Oh, that's a good one, Mark. I get going with lead generation, then go off on other things so that I then never really get one thing completely finished. For example, mailers, weekly or monthly emails. Absolutely. Oh, Mark, that's a whole, and we are going to get into outside of the exact, like do this, do this, do this. I'm also going to get into a little bit of the mindset, some like your boundaries and stuff that you need to set for yourself. And you kind of need to be an absolute kind of person. This whole relative, the whole debate about absolute, relative, absolute truth, blah, blah, blah. Well, this whole debate about absolute and relative, it's detrimental to your business, because if you do not have an absolute boundary on some things, you're absolutely going to fail. So we'll talk about that too. There's so much, I just had so many thoughts going through my head about all this and how I could help you guys. And this is all stemmed because some of my members are struggling. They're struggling with the market. They're struggling with self-doubt. They're struggling with not quite grasping how something's going to turn into a sale. They're struggling with wanting to jump out of order. There is an order to some things that you should be doing. I'm actually going to talk about your 20%, your 80% and all of this. They're struggling with all of that. And so within the membership, I'm not selling anything on these videos, but I am going to talk about my members because frankly, I love my members and I want to help them. There's nothing for sale in this. I just want to teach you guys. So with this helping you guys is helping me actually gain more clarity to help my members even more. So we're going deeper with our members. So with that, I'm going to go just give you guys some, I don't know, a roadmap, I guess, to follow to help you during this lead generation time. So we're going to focus on your lead generation time. So there's a couple of things. First of all, in order to build a real estate business, okay, in order to build any pick-in business, it doesn't matter if you're going to sell ice to Eskimos. In order to build a business, you have to build a list. Period. Number one, you have to build a list. Okay. So anytime you're going to think of any type of lead generation, your first thought is, how will this build my list? Now, there's a lot of arbitrary, maybe not arbitrary is the word, but there's a lot of stuff out there where we think that branding or name recognition or exposure is somehow going to get us business. The very first thing that you have to do, need water, the very first thing that you have to do is completely flip your paradigm. You need to focus on building that list, period. Now, what list is it? Blah, blah, blah. Well, it's your database. So in real estate, we say build our database. However, I'm saying build your list, because guess what? There's more than one list. I'm going to get into all of that. There's multiple lists. Your end game is to get them into your database. That is your end game. But there's more than one list. So there's different lists you'll be building and moving people through like a funnel to your main list. But if your actions that you're doing do not build your list, you should not be doing those actions. It's really that simple when it comes to lead generation. Now, I know you've got questions about that. We're going to get into it. Your number 2 most important thing that you should be doing, it's already up there, you should see what it is, but is to nurture your list. Nurture your list. Now, we're like, oh, okay, I need to touch them, or I need to do, 12 by 12s or 50 by 50s, or that's a made up one, but I need to how many touches, or I need to send out these drip campaigns, or I need to do this. Guys, that is not nurturing your list. Nurture your list. So I'm going to help you. And I know I say nurture your list like you should understand it. I know that we don't, as an industry as a whole, as an industry as a whole, we don't. So that's what I'm going to tell you guys about, teach you about, show you. So again, there's a lot of you on here. Do you struggle with what you should be doing during your lead generation time? Do you struggle with it? Is it just say yes or no? And if yes, can you tell me a little bit about if you can identify right away what it is that you struggle with? Like Mark, he identified right away, it's distraction. I get distracted. Now, Mark, what I want to tell you, and we're going to get into this over the next several days, but a week or two, what I want to tell you about that is the reason that you get distracted is because you aren't clear on exactly what you need to be doing when you're doing that task. That's what I have found. I have found that when I have distraction, it's when there's some fuzziness or some lack of clarity about what exactly I'm going to do. If I'm going to sit down and write an email, if I don't have a trigger or a reminder of what exactly I should say or want to say or ideas for that email, that's when distraction overtakes me. That's when I'm kind of pass on. So Carrie's yes too, totally. We all get it. Now, I want to tell you guys something. When I talk to you about any business, how to build your business, any business, you need to build your list and you need to nurture your list. Your 80% of your lead generation time, 80% of your time, your 20%. What I mean is the most important piece of this is building your list, because let me explain to this. You need to nurture your list. That's your 80%. It needs to be done. But if you don't have a list, you have nothing to nurture. You have nothing to convert into sales. You have nothing to get to the closing table. If you don't build your list, you got nothing. Which is why when you're doing your lead generation, guess what the first things you should be doing? You should be focusing your first 20%, your most important 20% of your lead generation time should be absolutely, unequivocally, 100% focused on list building. What is going to get people on my list? What can I do today, tomorrow, this week, this month? What can I do that will physically get people on my list? Period. That is your starting point. That is your question. So we're going to start with building your list. I'm going to let you in on a little secret here, guys. So with this, the beauty about focusing on building your list, you can simultaneously nurture your list. So this video, for example, this video is out on my Leads and Leverage Facebook page. Many of you are not members. Many of you are coming because I'm teaching you different things or telling you things maybe you haven't heard before or explaining things in a different way that just resonate with you. So but really, I started this video series for my members. So people, not only, it's all the way down here to number 3, which is my clients and customers. I want to take care of them. At the same time, I went, oh, this could actually help nurture my list. Oh, this could actually help build my list. So this is the best of everything. When you can do something that's going to take care of your clients and customers, answer their questions, help them solve a problem. It can also nurture your list. Some of those same questions are those people on your list or in your community or in your audience, they have the same questions. So you're going to nurture your list. And at the same time, I'm going to build my list because I'm answering questions of people like, oh, maybe she can help me with this one. So with that said, if you want, and I actually put it up here, if you want to like learn through this whole series that I'm doing, again, I'm not selling anything, through this whole series that I'm doing over the next 7 to 10-ish days about your lead generation, then please click that link that's in the description. I'm going to put it in comments. Click the link that's in the description or in the comments, and I put it at the pin at the top. That is going to, you can sign up on our messenger list. See, the build the list part. But you can sign up on our messenger list because what I'm going to do is I'm going to, number one, let you know when I'm going live over the next 7 to 10 days so that you can hop on live with me, or you can catch it in replay. And number 2, I'm also going to be giving out handouts and checklists and templates and roadmaps. As I talk about things, I have resources for stuff. So as I talk about things and stuff, I'm going to let you guys have those resources. I'm going to just share them with you. So I want you guys to be aware of that. If you sign up on that, I'm building my list. I am being flat out right here, flat out honest with you guys. If you sign up on that link, it's a messenger link. It's going to open your Facebook Messenger. Click the little yes button that yes, you want to know when live streams are. I'm showing you right now exactly what I'm doing so you guys can go, okay, how could I flip this and make it work for my real estate business? I'm going to walk you through more stuff, but I want you to be very, very aware of how I'm helping you so that you can go, oh, I can do that for my people. I can do that. That's easy. I can do that. Whether it's video or not, everything that you're doing, everything that you want to do for lead generation should, number one, build your list. Ideally, it will also nurture your list. Ideally, it will also help your current clients and customers. That's what this is. So I just want to show you that totally. I don't want you guys to like look at this and not translate it. That's all what this all is. So let's just kind of go through all your lead generation stuff. So again, if you want the free trainings, if you want the free handouts, I don't have any yet, meaning I haven't talked about any yet, but as I talk about them, I'll send them out via that messenger app to you. So build your list, nurture your list. Always look through everything you're doing. So when you sit down, or I keep saying sit down, but so when you block out your 2 to 3 hours of lead generation time, or even if you block out 30 minutes, let's be real. You know, are we just suddenly going to change our lives and do 2 to 3 hours of lead generation time? Some of us need to ease into it. So let's just say 30 minutes. Let's say 30 minutes of lead generation time. First of all, you don't want to be spending any of that time preparing. You want to prepare before, because we can prepare for 29 minutes and pretend like we did something for 1 minute and say, call it good, right? So I know I've been guilty of that. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm all prepared, I'm organized. We like to clean our desks. We like to clean our desktop. We suddenly like to clean off the photos on our phones. We like to organize our pens. You know, let's just do the preparing before that time. So let's pretend we have 30 minutes. And that 30 minutes, actually, you want to make sure that you're actually lead generating during that 30 minutes. But let me kind of get into the different kinds of lead generation. So if you know up here, I keep trying to point to it through looking at the camera, but if you know that building your list is number one, how can you look at what you're currently doing from that perspective? Because again, branding, or getting your name out there and exposure, those do not build your list. So stop thinking like that. They don't. Me speaking at events, like I get asked to speak at events. In fact, I got asked to do like a training, a video training, and the offer was, oh, you'll be exposed to agents. I'm like, I don't care about exposure. Like, I don't care about exposure. I want to physically help people. And if they're in the frame of mind that they're tired of and fed up with what they've been hearing, that's when they'll see that, oh, okay, this is different. This is what I want. Now I want to know more. I don't want to sell from the podium. In fact, I don't want to ever sell. I want to teach. I want to educate. So I thought it was kind of interesting that I thought it was great that the person asked, but I also wanted to use that kind of as an example that no, you don't need exposure. You don't need name recognition. So don't be thinking like that. What you need is to build your list. You need to solve problems for people and build your list. All right. So here's the different things that a lot of us are doing. And I'm going to, as we go through this series, I'm going to teach you physically how to turn them into actual list building opportunities. Not just random crap we do, but actual list building opportunities. And then as we converse and stuff, I'm going to point out things that, wow, this will actually nurture your list. So not only will it build your list, it will nurture your list. So let's do this. You have, virtual and you have in real life. And then you have some that kind of border that. So there's a couple things. The first, I'm going to talk about in real life stuff first, the stuff that we all know, right? So who here is doing door knocking? Like, do you like physically go knock on doors and stuff? Let me know, just say door knocking. If you do door knocking, or you ever have done any door knocking, physical door knocking. Who here does any cold calling? Now, when I say cold calling, I mean like you don't have any connection with the person that you're calling. And by any connection, if somebody gave you their name and number to call them and you call them, that's not a connection. Somebody might have mentioned it, but that's not a connection. So that's an actual cold call. So who here has done cold calling? Let me know that too. More in real life stuff, networking events. So we go to chamber events, or we'll do like, we'll even do like very industry specific. We'll do home and garden shows. Or we'll do BNI, LaTip, things like that. So are you guys in like a BNI club or a LaTip club? Please let me know if you door knock, or if you cold call, or if you regularly go to networking events. The other thing is open houses. We do these open houses, and then in some markets they're really popular and they work really well. In most markets, we kind of go and there's like no shows. And then we like look at all this, like, how can I get creative about my open houses, blah, blah, blah. But who here does open houses? So just pop open houses in the thing. So those are all of our kind of in real life stuff. There might be more. Have I missed something in real life besides open houses, besides networking events and like those not trade shows, but you know what I mean? Like home and garden shows and house shows, besides cold calling, besides door knocking, what in real life, like physically, where you physically have to be there, do you guys do that I have missed? Now, mailing's that's not an in real life thing. That's a marry between. I'm talking about you physically have to be there to make it happen. You have to be at an open house to make it happen. You have to be at a networking event. You have to physically be on the phone cold calling, and you have to door knock. Which one? So you're giving buyer seminars. That's a great one. I'm going to put that on my list. Thank you so much, Samantha. Open houses and mailings. And mailings are more of a marry. What I mean by marry is they marry virtual versus in real life. And I'm going to talk about this. Samantha, okay, networking. Carrie says BNI, networking, cold call, and hate it every minute. Like when a club told my band that they don't pay what we were asking for because they were giving us exposure. Exactly. Oh, Dave, I don't think this is any more prevalent in any other industry than the arts. Seriously, it is so, we think, your music's going to get played here, or your pictures are going to be hung here, or come do this, come take photos for free, come do video for free, all of that. In the arts, huge example. Worst thing is exposure does not feed you. It doesn't build your list. Exposure is a lie. It's really a lie. Now, let me clarify that. If you do so good, you got your little butt in a really good art gallery, that's a little bit different. That's different than what I'm talking about and what Dave's talking about. Yes. No, you need to, yeah, totally. Artists need to be paid for their contribution. That's their contribution. You as agents need to be paid for your contribution. That's your contribution. So don't get caught up in the idea of exposure, you guys. Yeah, exposure does not pay the bills. Open houses. Kim says, am I missing the yes button on Messenger? I don't see it. Well, you have to click the link. You might already be on the list, Kim, and that might be why. So you just click the link, and then it should tell you if you want this stuff. Let me just open it, and I'll tell you exactly what it says. The question is, hopefully it'll open it for me. It says, oh, just click the yes button, and I'll message you when I go live and when I have any free resources for you. That's what you're signing up for. I don't think I can share the picture, but it's literally, there's a yes, a blue, yes is in blue. It's in blue. I need to actually turn that into an actual button. I have not done that yet. So that's on there for you. Hopefully you guys can find it. Hi, Dave. Yes, so Lisa's don't know where to start. Definitely a lack of clarity on the 100%. Okay, so let's do this. So you have to know everything you face has to be focused with building your list. So in real life, we do open houses, we do networking events, we do cold calling, we do door knocking, and we do seminars. If I missed something, please let me know on the in real life stuff. So now I'm going to talk about the virtual. So the virtual, we are on different social media, right? So we're on, some of us are on everything, or we go out and put our profiles on everything because we don't want to miss the opportunity or whatever, because it could be the next big thing or whatever. But I'm just going to name the couple big ones. Social media does not mean that they are the best for list building. I don't care who's there, how many people are there. Just because it's popular doesn't mean it's the best for list building. However, I'm going to talk about virtual right now. So virtual, we're out on Facebook, and we're doing things on Facebook. We're doing things like our websites, right? We're doing things on our websites. And we're doing things out on Pinterest, some of us. Some of us are doing things out on Instagram. Some are on Twitter. And then of course there's WhatsApp, and there's Snapchat. And then I literally could go on almost to infinity. There are so many different things. But we're out there and we keep thinking of it in terms of exposure, or I just got to keep getting my name out there. So when agents are trying to do things on Facebook, they keep thinking exposure or getting my name out there. That is not building your list. Now, then there's also, let me bring this in. There's a couple of lists that you're going to be building. So build your list. Your ultimate goal is to get them into your main database, your main database, okay? But there's a couple of lists that you can build. You can build a messenger list. That's what I'm building right now. Any of you who are signing up to get live notifications and to get any freebies that I hand out, that's my messenger list. And you're gonna hear a lot of people say that you don't own that list. You're right, I don't. It's on Facebook Messenger. You don't ever want a platform to control you. No, you don't, absolutely not. However, when it comes to anything, progressing people through, you got to progress them through the multiple layers of audiences and lists to get to your main list. It's just like the customer journey. When you meet someone, they may not be immediately ready, willing, or able, one of those, to buy or sell right then, right? So you kind of nurture them through their journey, through their process. If it's a brand new buyer, they may not know that they can qualify. So then you nurture them through and get them to a lender, and oh my goodness, they can qualify. But maybe it's a low dollar amount. So then you nurture them through and get them through finding a house, or the process that it takes, that maybe there's not a lot of homes in their price range there. So you nurture them through that whole process. It's not just a, hey, you ready to buy or sell? Boom, 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 wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, I'm done. It doesn't work like that. Yes, you're gonna have outliers. Yes, you're going to have transactions that take you 64 months, or people that take you 64 months to get to a transaction. And then you're going to have people who take 2 weeks. Out of a little over 4,000 transactions, I have those extremes, both of those extremes. But in reality, we're all here in the bell curve, and we need to nurture people through the journey. So virtually, that looks like building audiences first. So audiences on Facebook, your Facebook page likes, website, your traffic, your targeted traffic, Instagram, your followers, Pinterest, your followers, Snapchat, WhatsApp, whatever you're going to do or whatever you're going to use, That's the first stage of list building virtually. It's building your audience. Now, there's a right way and a wrong way to build an audience, but we're not going to get into that right yet. I will. So when you're doing that, so I'm building my messenger list. That's list number one. With that messenger list, I'm going to nurture that list. Right now, I'm giving you guys information. I'm going to send this out to everybody who was already on my messenger list. Before this, I'm going to send this out so that they can watch it if they want to and learn and train. So I'm nurturing that list. I'm also going to send this out to my email list, nurturing my list so that they can learn. They can grow in their understanding and grow their business. The other piece I'm going to be building, I already mentioned it, my email list. My email list. So my email list, I am going to build. And nurture it. So when people want free handouts that I have and they're on Messenger, in order to get it, they actually have to sign up on my email list because that's how it's delivered. So I'm moving people through from Facebook to Messenger to my email list. And then from my email list, when they are ready, when they're ready from what I'm giving them, when they have enough of a drive to make a change, when I have an opening or when I have an offer, I will send it out. And those who are ready, take advantage of it. So that's the progression. So messenger list, email list, and then finally, snail mail list, your database, the one you're sending out more stuff to. You want to connect with people in all possible ways. You want to connect with them virtually. You want to connect with them via email. You want to connect with them via snail mail. You want to connect with them via phone. Okay, so that's kind of all the ways. Did I miss any ways that you tend to think of or consider lead generation? Even if you have a doubt that it's actually working. Doesn't matter if it works for you. It doesn't matter if it has worked for you or not had for you. What have I missed? Okay, perfect, Kim. On this, I want to make sure I've hit everything. So you're not going, but Christina, tell me what I've missed on this. So we have all of these different ways that we can grow our business, that we can use for lead generation. But the very first step, the very first thing you have to do is you have to flip your thinking and you have to look at every single one in this perspective. How can I use this to build my list? How can I use this to nurture my list? The number one is build your list. The number one priority is build your list. So how can I use what I'm going to do? How can I use my open house to build my list? So over the next, this is already long enough on this episode, I guess. Over the next 7 to 10 days, I'm going to hop on here just about every day. I am doing some traveling next week and I don't know, I'll be on Eastern time and I'm going to get on and I don't know exactly when it'll be, but I am going to get on because we're going to walk through each one of these. I'm going to tell you exactly how to turn an open house into a list building opportunity. Literally, if you're going to do open houses, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Make it a list building opportunity. Get those people or get people to it and get people on your list. Also with an open house, how can you use an open house to actually nurture your list? If people aren't going to physically come in, but you kind of need to do an open house to like appease the seller, or maybe your brokerage requires them or whatever, or you just don't know what to do and you're going to like hope people walk into an open house, but you're there using your time. So let's go ahead and leverage that time and use it to nurture your list. I'm going to show you how. We're going to go through all that. Open houses, networking events, cold calling, door knocking, seminars. When you go to conferences, I didn't say that. A lot of times we go to conferences and we say the best thing about conferences is the networking. Yeah, I've gotten referrals at conferences, from going to them. But let's be real. That's a lot of time and a lot of money from the travel expense to get one referral, maybe two. Doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing them, but how can you leverage them? And no, you don't need to take 500 packages or 1,000 packages of whatever and put them on every single chair when you go to the conference. I used to think that was such a cool thing to do. I would go to conferences and I'd have all these things that people like gave, like their business cards or I Heart referrals or little candies on them. So they stood out and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and they would give out thousands of them, right? People would do that. You don't need to do that at all. I'm going to show you how to leverage a conference. Is there anything I'm missing? So as we're going through the next 7 to 10 days, what am I missing? Because I'm going to talk about open houses, networking events, cold calling, door knocking, seminars that you give, like buyer seminars. Let me write that down. Conferences, audiences you're building, your Facebook audience, your web audience, other social media audiences, the lists that you're building, messenger, email, snail mail. We're going to get into exactly what to do and when. Any other questions? Have I missed anything at all? Because we're going to wrap this one up. Please comment if you're watching this in replay, or if you think of something as you're watching it now and you come back, please comment below. I want to make sure to include all of this in here. We're going to go through all of these, every single one. We're probably going to spend like 15 minutes a day on each one. So let me know what I've missed. Let me know if you struggle with any of these. Let me know if you have maybe figured out a way to make something really work for you. Let me know. I'd love to know. I want to help. I'm here for you guys. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you tomorrow for the next episode of The Ribbit Show. But we're actually going to talk about, we're going to vary between the different audience buildings and list buildings, and how we can turn some of the stuff that we're doing into actual list building, so that when we're spending our lead generation time, we're spending it on actually doing the stuff, not preparing for the stuff, on actually doing an exact task and not getting distracted because we're unclear of what our task should be. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Have a fabulous day. I will see you guys tomorrow.